Hey everybody, up late, can't sleep, decided to do something really fast just to wear myself out a little bit and get some rest. I'm going to go over the new kinetic melee changes as I understand them. So I want everybody to know I am not a numbers guy. I failed algebra twice in high school. So I'm not going to be the most technical breakdown of every little, how much DPS per second's happening and all that, but just my layman's understanding of what's going on. So we got Forcevector here. Forcevector is my kinetic melee energy aura scrapper. I abandoned him a while ago. He was based on an original character I played in a tabletop hero game a long time ago. Stupid character. The idea was he was the son of Sebastian Shaw and Storm. Interesting character. But anyway, but I want to go over the changes here. Let me see if I can get rambling a little bit. You guys know I ramble. I'm not perfect. I am not the best podcaster, nor do I pretend to be. A streamer, that is. So this is kind of the build that we've got going with him now. Yes, I spent money on this build. It's probably a 500 mil build or more. Um, I lucked out because I've been gaming for so long. I've just got stuff stored. I've got sets stored. I've got money stored, and most importantly, I've had what am I thinking? Hero merits stored. So I used merits to buy the Superior Blistering Cold and Superior Avalanche set. You'll see this set. You'll see these sets in a lot of top tier builds because they do a lot for you. One of the things that they really do that's helpful is they both stack a little bit of slow resistance. So 15% resistance to slow effect, 15% resist to slow effect. What makes that here as well, I believe, or I thought it gave that as well. Yep, that's right there. What's nice about that is when you look at the character's overall stats, his combat attributes, I believe it's status effect resistances. No. Slow is not there. No. Movement. Where's the slow effect movement? Where does it show? Recharge slows. Oh, wait. It is under here. It's debuff resistance. So recharge time. So he's got 50% recharge. So you're stacking what he's getting for energy protection, one of his innate abilities that he uses that you can choose. Always pick energy protection, please, an energy aura. Do not skip it. He's also got the stacking slow resist. So he's going to be hard to slow down. One of the things I really hate in a lot of top tier missions and even in some of the missions run 10 AE are those stacking slows. And Energy Aura is really nice because Energy Aura resists a lot. It resists Repel, it resists Slows, just an overall good set. I think Energy Aura is probably a top tier set that nobody ever talks about. People don't realize how good it is. Sorry. So, we've got the Critical Strike set and Smashing Blow. Give us some nice bonuses. I always go, you notice I don't proc a lot. I prefer the set bonuses to the procs. There's a lot of argument about this. I've seen arguments about this in other posts that people have made of their builds. Be like, well, you could get more critical chance if you did this, or if you took that out and you put in this rock, you get more damage over time. Excuse me, I'm fighting a cold off. Sorry about that. I tend to not care about that as much. I just realized something wasn't updated. I don't care about that as much as I care about set bonuses. I like the set bonuses. That's how I play. I'm not a procs guy. I'm a set bonuses guy. You can do a mix of both, but my preference is the set bonuses. Anyway, so critical strikes here. Great power. That's in Smashing Blow. We got Superior Avalanche here. Superior Blistering Cold here. Gotta wait. Scott free with this because excuse me. Gotta wait scot free with this because I had enough merits. I had enough merits stored, and I consolidated merits over a bunch of different characters and transferred them over, and it's what you can do. Concentrated Strike. I could put something. I have enough funds to put something else in here, but I wanted the set bonuses from Mako's Bite. There were other sets available to put there. I didn't like the set bonuses as much. I'm going for as much resistance as I can get on top of the defense. Confront, just a taunt placate reach range. So increasing the range of the taunt I think is important, as well as the taunt duration. Rather, the good old-fashioned reactive defensive set with that scaling damage resist proc in it is really awesome. Love that set. It's almost in every build I have. That's a defense shield. Power shield, just 3 luck of the gamblers with, of course, our favorite thing, the increased global recharge. Another great set, Unbreakable Guard for resistance. My favorite set for resistance. Actually, it's toss up between Unbreakable Guard and Aegis, but I get to get them both in this set. So it's in this. If I can get them both in one build, I'll get them both in one build. If I have to choose, I typically go with Unbreakable Guard. It's got that max hit points, which is hard to get in the game. Energy Protection's got Aegis in it. Another great resistance set. Can't complain about it. The good old-fashioned primitive and medicine set. Love that set. Love the proc in that set. Helps with survival. Energy drain. Typically, any of my endurance modification powers that need accuracy, that mean they suck endurance from the mobs, I typically go with preemptive optimization just because I like the set bonuses on it. Good recharge bonus. Luck of the Gambler stuck in here. Get a little extra defense and a little recharge. Overload's a one-hit wonder. You don't need to fully slot it. Just drop a Luck of the Gambler in there and you're good to go. I put, because I had the money, I put an endurance reduction in run speed and sprint. I typically leave sprint running. This character, because of how energy aura is and how it's slotted, he doesn't run out of energy much. It takes a lot to drain for energy, and he resists energy drain as well, thanks to energy aura. Health, we got Numina's Convalescent, Regeneration Recover. Some call it Numina, some say Numina. I like Numina because it sounds fancier. My favorite slotting for stamina, I tend to not veer from it. It just works. 3 of efficacy adapters. Because of that bonus, that when you get 3 of them, your overall recovery improves by 1.5%. That's just as good as any of the procs should slot in there. And you get a little bit extra health, and you get the endurance modification updates as well. So overall, 80% endurance modification ups your recovery rate a good bit. And you get a little bit of extra recovery on top of that. You just can't beat it. And that 1.5% really matters. Hasten, 2 plus 3 recharge reductions, regular recharge reductions put in there from the invention set, not from the invention set, just generic IOs. A generic IO and super feed for endurance reduction, just to help me in case I need to run it. So the basic sneaky slotting for tough and weave, I've used this a lot too, and again, I picked this up on the forums. I do not claim I am the best builder. It's just I follow particular people whose builds I like, and I kind of look through and see the patterns of what they do, and then I copy their patterns. I'm not the best builder. I'm not the most innovative in the world. Just certain things work. So in my brutes and my scrappers, I've noticed quite a few people doing this in a few builds, and I pretty much almost always copy it. It's going to be tough with steadfast protection in it, which gives you a little bit of extra resistance and some defense. Gladiator's armor, which gives you some teleport protection and defense against all. Teleportation is really important now, thanks to some mobs in the game. Council having the ability to teleport you against your will. And a full slot of Luck with Gamblers and Weave. Don't have to do that, but I like to do that on brutes and scrappers. And then down here, I picked focus accuracy, but I really wanted that physical perfection because I can dump recovery, a chance to heal self, and an endurance modification and run speed into that. And then I'm going to run faster, I'm going to recover health, I'm going to recover energy more often. You could put the Numinas in there instead of the Miracle. It doesn't really matter. You put that there and put the other one up in health. It doesn't really matter. That's how I do it. Focused accuracy. Because the game has introduced plus 6 and 7 mobs, plus 5 mobs, they're harder to hit. And I'm noticing that on some tunes. They're having trouble hitting things, aren't hitting things as often. My tanker, Radolith, I notice isn't hitting as often as I like, so I might do some little fiddling with him to see if I can up his accuracy a little bit. Focus accuracy is just going to help this character hit things more often. Teleport target. There's another builder that I followed a lot who used this ability a lot, and now I just do it too. It's just useful. It ends up being useful. If I can, I try to get it into the build early. Just because being a tanky character that can teleport, if you've been watching the 501s that we've been doing with Dark Current, you'll notice a lot of times teleport target being used to save the mission. Grab the sturdy character grabbing because he's last to live, grabbing those, going to the back somewhere, pulling the dead people out, letting them res. And this guy's pretty sturdy, so he can probably do that. And I've been done it in a couple of my missions I played on. I just actually did a set of missions with some people, four people. And a couple of them were lobies, and a couple of times I needed to rescue them, pull them somewhere safe where they could resurrect. And being a tank, I can also, well, a scrapper, I can kind of confront. I can also kind of taunt things away from them while they're getting up, and hold attention. I wish I had. Oh, Entropic Ore doesn't have anything in it. I'll probably stick another threat and range in there. Actually, I might just do that now while we're sitting here, just to increase the, So he's kind of a scrapper tank. That's how I've kind of built him. I've made some choices, like choosing a melee partial choreograph for now, to make him be able to pull stuff to him. He should have enough money to grab one of those threat ones. We'll do this right now. Taunt. Where is it? Threat duration is the same as taunt. I know, it doesn't make any sense why taunt and threat duration are called two different things. We're going to do that. Threat range. I could afford it. I have more money stored elsewhere. I bid a little under for it and still got it. And we'll just plop that in there. So now he's going to have a little bit of... Hopefully that'll give more range to his Entropic Aura. I'm thinking that's how it worked. So overall, what are we looking at for this guy at base? So at base level, with all of his set enhancements and bonuses, he's got some additional hit points, which is good. I have not gotten other things he needs like Atlas Medallion. I'll get them eventually. I leveled him up pretty fast. He's got decent recovery rates, decent regeneration rates, good to hit bonus, which I like seeing at 75% to hit bonus. Let me make sure something's missing here, and I want to make sure I fix it. Missing his focused accuracy. There we go. And that brings his hit bonus to 82%, 82.7%. 138 recharge, that's excellent. I picked the Ageless Radio, so that's going to give him even more recharge when he needs it. So that's going to boost his recharge up even higher. That's a little weird. Why did the recharge went down and not up? That was odd. I'm not sure what the error is there, but we're just going to roll with it for now. Ageless is boosting his recharge. Oh, 158. There we go. I don't know what there's a glitch there for a minute. Everyone ever saw, but it went down by a lot and then went up. Endurance counts are good. Perception is good. See those invisible people trying to blind him or hurt him. Damage resistance. He's got decent damage resistance. He's not at cap, but there's a reason I ain't worried about it with Energy Aura. It's kind of the trick to Energy Aura, because you get defense and resistance in Energy Aura. A little bit of everything. So his damage resistance is pretty good. And his defense, it doesn't look good at first, but this melee partial choreograph is going to really help with a lot of this damage resistances. And he's got damage resistance to some things that kind of cover up holes, other holes in his build. The biggest hole is the side damage hole, but I have not been finding that to be too terrible, because he has the okay amount of psionic damage resistance. So he really, anywhere that he has a hole, if he has a hole in damage resistance in an area, he's got a defense to cover it, and vice versa. If he's got a little bit low defense in one area, he's got damage resistance to cover it. So that's why I like Energy Aura. You can do that with Energy Aura. I'm sure there are better builds out there, but this is my build. This is what I'm doing. Debuff resistance, why I love Energy Aura. Dampening field. He's got to hit resistance too from the focused accuracy, which is very useful. He's got slow resistance. He's got general defense resistance. So anything that tries to debuff him, lower his defenses, lower his resistance, lower his to hit, is going to run into some problems. It's not going to be as effective as it's going to be an unprotected character. And status effects, resistances are coming from the set bonuses. And again, this is why I like set bonuses over procs. I will always go for set bonuses over procs. Everybody's different. Some people like the procs. They want to beat those damage times, but I prefer the bonuses. Everybody's different, and it's okay. Um, Stop the bank robbery looks fun. Let's do that. And I'm not set really high. It's plus 2 times 4. Perfectly respectable. And it's Carnival, which people hate. But he handles Carnival quite surprisingly, believe it or not, quite well. He also handles Arachnos quite well, which is crazy because Carnival and Arachnos, because of the extra bits of exotic damages like Psi and Toxic, and Carnival, of course, the Endurance Drain, he could really give two craps about the Endurance Drain from the Carnival. He can stand in the midst of the Carnival, thanks to Energy Aura, and just laugh the Endurance Drains off. So in we go. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to summon my pets. They're probably going to die, though. I went with IDF just because of the look. I am going to try to pull them in here to fight me. He handles plus 2 quite readily. Now, one thing you're noticing is I said I was going to go over the changes, right? You notice those DOTs? Almost every single ability in Kinetic Melee now, we can take some time to show this, has DOT in it now. So while you're activating the ability, you are firing off DOTs, damage over times. This is incredibly useful. We're going to get a little power siphon going, which is going to boost all of our damage overall. And it's not really showing off those DOTs too much right here. Let me show you here. Now you can see them going off. They weren't in close enough range to me. And notice I could really care less about the endurance drains. I feel like my effect noise is kind of loud, so just give me a second. I can afford to because he's not going to die. Not to this. To lower the sound effects down a little bit so you can hear me better. You can hear me better? Good. Alright. I think my DOTs might have killed that Carney while I was clicking on stuff. But those DOTs are really nice. So the DOT happens during the activation. I guess I could take this guy out. I tend to not worry about the phantasms as they kind of die on their own eventually. I'm kind of curious about something. I'm wondering if I can taunt these guys in this other room. And what that'll do if they get taunted. Let's see if they're... they're going to come around to get me. That's hilarious. I'm going to get her too. Get these other ones. This is just more for novelty's sake. They're just being silly. I'm going to taunt this one back here too so she can come and get some. So there's that hold for proc, that hold proc that's in Smashing Blow, I believe, that you saw go off just there. But that damage over time is really something else. They are kind of bothering me. Since this is energy aura, I can replenish my energy quite well. And I slotted for it. And do a power siphon to boost my abilities. You see how the DOT went up? And of course, Stalker criticals are unmatched. Probably the next best thing to Stalker criticals are, I'm sorry, Scrapper criticals or Stalker criticals. I'm going to try to taunt these guys in here. And bring everybody into this back room here. Pull over a little bit so they got to come in and get me. This easier, and then they're all kind of all bunched up so my DOTs can hit them. I'm going to hit my Ageless. More for the recharge than for the debuff resistance. Carnies don't toss out a lot of slows and such and other types of debuffs, but they do. They do this thing, which is annoying. I'm going to burst and then focus burst. But those DOTs going off while you're activating the ability really are something else. I'm going to taunt her, see if I can pull her in a little bit So I have to do less killing. I'm going to pull that guy off my ranger. Oh, he killed him though. But my ranger managed to off him before he died. There we go. But as you can see, Energy Aura doesn't care. Energy Aura gives two craps about. This is the room we pulled him from. Energy Aura doesn't really care about endurance drains. It laughs endurance drains off even without bonuses and other things going on with it. I'm going to put my melee graft on, and you'll see that that will buff my resistance up quite a bit. I think I can afford to not. I won't die. My damage resistance goes up quite high with that. You saw that? So we're going to do this. Take one of these guys. What I do like is if I'm on with someone who's a sapper, like an electric sapper, I'm going to pull her in there. I'm going to come back here and force her in so she stays in my DOTs. She's still not quite in them. I'm going to taunt her again, and I'm going to pull back just a little bit to make her come in this room further. The taunt's going to want to make her come in and get me. I kind of want her around my AoEs and DOTs so that I don't have to. Ah, she's getting on my nerves. That phase that they do is so annoying. I'm going to have to look and see what are some counters to the phase. Okay, she's not phased now. I think if you can get a DOT going on them before they phase, it still does damage to them after they phase. I have yet to confirm that. The buff, that was good. That took her out. I think that was a critical that might have hit there, but I didn't see it out the look at the video and look. So I've been seeing some talk on forums, and a lot of people are saying Kinetic Melee is on par with excuse me, Energy Melee now. Pardon the coughing, guys. Sorry about that. I just got over a really nasty bug I caught about a week or so ago. It was not pleasant. There's that proc again going off for the ice hold. So I guess I'm kind of a liar. I do have procs in this build, but I'm not going crazy with the damage procs. They're procs within the context of the set, so I'm still getting those set bonuses. I didn't really need energy drain there, I just wanted to do it. Sometimes energy drain is just fun to fire off. If I'm teaming with an electric blaster or controller or defender who's doing a lot of drain, a really good endurance drainer, I love helping them out, firing off my endurance drain power, because it will stack really nicely with what that character's already doing. And I kind of think, I feel like Electric Melee Energy Aura is kind of a meta. Okay, so she's back over there. I'm going to pop a luck just to get myself out a little bit, and I'm going to taunt her. And then I'm going to dodge over here, because I want them to all come out here and get me. But I want to pull back enough so that you can see what's happening. I got a little debuff resistance. It's great for my Ion Judgment. I really should have power drained before the Ion Judgment, but that's okay. Ooh, got a badge. So the view is a little screwed up here because of how they have me cornered, but you can kind of see what's happening. Just go with the flow, folks. I'm trying to get that. There she is. I can get the boss taunted here. But as you can see, I'm going to jump out. Just to give myself a little breathing room here so I can see what's happening. Now that I've got everybody in here, I'm going to hit my melee graft on. So I really want to take that boss out. But amidst all those carnies, all that psychic damage, all that endurance training, the only thing that's really bothering him is kind of kill him fast enough before they phase. And I did. I was able to take her out. But those adding the DAT to the animation, I think was amazing. So while KInetic Melee still has that feel of winding up, redirecting energy, moving energy through, it still is doing DPS while you're animating. So you're not losing out. And the animation times were lowered. So I think it's just been a really good. And I want to take some time to review that since I talked about it a lot so you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to look at a couple of the abilities. We got to disarm the bomb, but probably not the most efficient here. He's going to go away on his own eventually. I'm not really worried about him. He can't do much to me. So let's look at the powers. Info. Let's look. So you can see the activation times were lowered. It used to be much longer than that. And I think the recharge times were adjusted a little as well. That's the average damage. That's the damage per activation time and the damage per cast cycle. So there's that. I think burst. Also looks like there's some damage over time added to burst as well. So all these abilities have had that little DOTs added to them. And I think the damage per activation time is the DOT. I may have to research that, but I know that DOTs were added, and we saw the DOTs that work. I feel like they were added to most of the abilities, but I know they were added to burst. For sure, because I've seen it discussed. I believe that's the DOT. Again, I'm not the best math person. You might want to check the forums, and if I'm wrong, correct me. But I believe that's the DOT. It's the damage over time. Here it is. Sorry, 5 ticks of energy damage over time, right here. That's the DOT. And let's look at this other power. Let's see if that's been added to there as well. Yep. A 5% chance for damage energy damage. Oh, that's extra damage. It's not damage over time. So this doesn't have a damage over time added to it, but it's had some other things adjusted on it that I think are great. It's got a chance to do extra damage. That's probably the crits. Only against minions and underlings. Power Siphon. Yep, boost. The Power Siphon mechanic was changed as well. So you're getting more stacks of Power Siphon more easily. And then, so these, a chance for extra damage looks like was added to these. Power Siphon was changed slightly too. I believe it activates more readily and it's up more often. Confront. Burst has a DOT mechanic added to it, which is incredibly helpful. Let's see. Focus Burst does not. I feel like there's a second power that has damage over time added to it. Concentrated Strike, yeah. Concentrated Strike also has. So when you're activating Burst or Concentrated Strike, you're going to get some DOT happening in a PBOE around you, to targets around you. Power Siphon increases their strength, and these other abilities increase your chance to get a Power Siphon effect, as well as it looks like small chances to do extra damage against lower level targets, which I think we were seeing in action in the game. Kind of great. And activation times are reduced for just about everything. So it is probably like Power Siphon, followed by Burst, followed by Concentrated Strike. Is probably good for you. That's going to get those DOTs rolling. You can get the bomb. We're not breaking into the bank because we're heroes. So we can grab the bomb. Uh-oh. Gonna pull that guy back here too. I want everybody to just come and give me warm hugs. I want them all nice and close. Yep, definitely see the DOTs happening now. And then Concentrated Strike. And then DOT again. And then Ion Judgment. These are minions. There's a chance it's going to do extra damage against the minion, which you just saw happen, I believe. A beautiful critical there. So yeah, this, I think, properly slotted, and probably even better than I've slotted it. Though I think my slotting's decent. It's just not procced out all the hell and back. But a procced out build that's really maximized for damage. I'm confident in saying Kinetic Melee is now on par with Energy Melee. And Energy Melee, Energy Aura Scrapper was already top-notch build in the game, capable of soloing just about everything, capable of soloing task forces. He can hold aggro with the best of them, especially with the melee partial core. I was holding aggro as well as the stone tank I was teamed with earlier. That stone tank and I were able to really keep the aggro on us and concentrated so the weaker tunes could blast away. It's just a solid build. I don't think you can go wrong with the new Kinetic Melee as it has been improved, greatly improved. Combine that with Energy Aura, or Energy Melee with Energy Aura, and on a Scrapper, you've got a top-notch damage dealer, survivor, pseudo tank that can do just about everything in the game, all by himself if he needs to. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you have a beautiful evening. I am going to try to get in bed and go to sleep because I've got to be to work in approximately 8 hours. Take care, all. Thanks for watching.